Hello, and welcome to the Noise of Three. I'm Goat.
I'm Dylan.
And I'm Zach.
And today we're going to be talking about things that we enjoy and take part in, such as... Dylan?
ICP.
Oh, yeah, definitely. We didn't actually say what we're going to do last podcast, and Dylan was like, oh,
we
shit.
actually messed up. We tried to say what we're going to do, and then as soon as we hit stop and then we exported it, we were like, shit, we didn't say what we were going to record.
And then I rubbed my hands together and said, we're going to talk about ICP. I even brought my little Juggalo hat.
He called it first, so he got it.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, we're all going to talk about something. Goat's
Yeah.
going to go first since he's the
Well,
most
why don't
prepared.
we go through and say what we're going to talk about real quick?
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
With me, we're going to be talking about ICP and the culture itself.
I'm going to talk about Force of Will. It's a card game.
And I'm going to talk about when I used to dicker on Craigslist, trade shit and all that good stuff. It was a good time.
Yeah.
Take it away, Goat.
All right, man. So we're going to delve right into it with the Joker's cards. I would give you a main history of it, but we tried that a couple, failed recordings ago, and I was just all over the
It's
place.
just the one, actually.
Yeah, you're right. But anyway, so I'm going to be talking about the Joker's cards. Where it really started, where it took the world by storm. The first Joker's card, the Carnival of Carnage, in 1992, it's a representation of the ghetto and the violence that occurs within the ghetto. It takes form of a traveling carnival, which doles out the same brutality on those who have ignored the inner city's cries for help. The card issues a warning against the upper class and government's negligence toward the lower classes, and which is really interesting because there were a lot of things like that. But when ICP came out, they had a weird silliness to their brutality.
Yeah, they actually bring a lot of levity to horrible murder.
Oh yeah.
Which is how we get a lot of our awesome humor.
Yeah, and it's not just that, but the pain that these people face. Some of these songs in the earlier albums get real. Like they become so, like, you don't even know if you're looking at a joke or an actual tragedy anymore. And I mean, you can argue that they it's just a silly band and that they're terrible, but the emotion that they put into these songs, the passion that's there, especially in the early, especially in Carnival of Carnage, like, you can kind of feel their pain, which is a little refreshing in all honesty. Give us 1 second. Wow, that was a silent pour.
That's a first.
I'm getting better.
You are getting better, but we want you to get worse.
Yeah.
That sounds like some good coffee, guys.
There we go. Just a
what are
little
you drinking
tradition.
today?
Like, can I
Half-calf Maxwell.
can I finish? Thank you.
By all means.
But then comes the Ringmaster, the second Joker's card. The Ringmaster, it's the story of the overseer of the Carnival of Carnage. He basically leads the dead souls from the ghettos, from the world of pain that we live in, and he's the one that he tears doomed souls from their living bodies and he just drags them to hell. He is created through one's own sins. He's
whoop.
Yeah. He's the final blow. He's what takes what could be a good person and just ruins it. Then there's the third Joker's card, the Riddle Box. I don't really like this one so much.
Sounds really cool.
Yeah, the Riddle Box is cool, but it's basically just a box that when you crank the handle, it plays a little Jack in the Box tune, and whether or not you're a good person, like a hand will pop out and take you to heaven, or earth-shattering bang happens and you fall into the box. The Great Malenko, which is my favorite, the fourth Joker's card. You gotta work on your mixing, man. That's loud as hell.
I don't like the way the YouTube player is on this browser.
Yeah, well, maybe we need to stop using YouTube.
No, it's Linux, bro.
But the Great Malenko, 1997, the fourth Joker's card. The Great Malenko is an illusionist. He's a necromancer. He shows you what could have been. He shows you all these happy people that are in your life, all the people that you quote-unquote care about, or that you live with, or that you influence. And he shows the almost utopian society, not society, but almost utopian lives of these people, and then turns to who should be you, and you're not there because you didn't let that happen for them. Your actions, your evil deeds, you tore their bliss away from them. And snap back to reality, you're a piece of shit.
It's pretty intense.
Yeah, and it's really cool. My main issue with ICP's Joker's cards is that they take these really cool themes and they're not really present for the whole album. Some albums are just random shit. Like the Ringmaster has a bunch of random shit in it. The Riddle Box, so does Great Malenko, but it's got more. It's got more substance that ties into the main theme. Hallelujah is one of my favorite songs. The fifth Joker's card, The Amazing Jekyll Brothers, 1999. It focuses on 9 circles of hell and the morality of man, as he's torn between righteousness and evil. Jack the Sinister and Jake the Just emerge from the smoke of a candle. The Jekyll Brothers juggle pulsating blood-covered balls, representing the mortal life of the dead. For every sin committed, another ball is added. Jack throws Jake curves in an attempt to see a ball drop, and if a soul witnesses Jake drop one of those balls, he will be damned to hell. Souls of who see Jake successfully complete the act ascend to heaven. Now, the sixth Joker's card, the Wraith, this was huge when it came out back in 2002. It was gargantuan. People were freaking the fuck out because they've built up this thing. They've built up when the sixth card drops, all will be revealed and the world will end. And the Wraith is the personification of death. There are 2 versions of this album, Shangri-La and Hell's Pit, which were each given their own album. The Wraith, Shangri-La, revealed that the hidden message of Insane Clown Posse's music was always to follow God and make it to heaven. Hell's Pit tortured... Hell's Pit toured where those who do not atone for their sins follow the ways of Shangri-La or sin, illustrating the horrors of hell itself. Basically, when this album dropped, everyone was kind of, not really shocked or surprised, but kind of baffled. Especially people who weren't juggalos. Because, you hear all this violent music and about hearing them beat people's ass and killing bigots and murdering hillbillies and racists and murderers and rapists, and then it's we've just been following God's path, and the way they explain that is kind of interesting in the fact that
technically that is God's path.
Yeah,
eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth.
Yeah, if you go for the strict literary sense of the Bible.
But the way they explain that is they don't want to actually hurt or kill anybody. They're just getting out all this not negative energy, but all this
just pent up aggression.
Yeah, and to them, they're sharing it with their juggalos. People like them. They're their fellow brothers and sisters. And yeah, these people should atone for their sins in a horrible, gory way, but we're not actually going to do that. Instead, we're going to change the world. Instead, we're going to band together and go do drugs in the middle of Missouri.
Just like John Wayne would have did.
Yeah. And I think them doing the deck, the Joker's cards, and that being the final, the final message. This is what it was supposed to be. I think that's kind of cool. Then there's the second deck, which is a bastardization of the first deck.
I think it's worth noting that they took a 5-year between these?
Yeah, because they even did it in interviews. After the first Joker's deck, they're like, are we going to see any more Joker's cards? And Fallon J goes, no, fuck that, we're done. And then back in 2009, bang, pow, boom.
Oops, more cards.
Oops, all cards.
Yeah.
Bang, pow, boom came out. It's actually their best album. It takes all of the energy and emotion that made the Great Malenko and the Amazing Jekyll Brothers such great albums, and it added a new sheen to it. It was better. It was more well constructed. The rhymes were better. The beats, they got DJ Clay on there, he's a great DJ. The songs themselves were just fucking amazing.
So what you're saying is, in the second deck, the albums that refer to the individual cards are more closely tied to what the card means?
Oh no, just Bang Pow Boom. The Mighty Death Pop's trash. The Missing Link is garbage. The Missing Link, they did what they did with the Amazing Jekyll Brothers and the Wraith, where they released 2 versions of it. The Marvelous Missing Link, Lost, and the Marvelous Missing Link, Found. It sucks. The music on it's trash. There are versions of Bang Pow Boom that are different. There's actually 4 of them, but the Platinum album, which is all the songs on it, is a 2-hour album.
Jeez.
It's huge. It's great. But there's red, blue, and green of the Bang Pow Boom face. And then Platinum, which is the 2-hour album. And they had so much stuff, they just released 3 different versions of their album. And then they released a big one. I thought that was really cool. And, now here's the main thing I wanted to talk about from the get-go. These people, juggalos, they get a lot of bad rep, and a lot of them are stupid, and a lot of them are trash. I'm not gonna lie.
Whoop, whoop.
But that's like if you have any group of people, that's gonna happen.
If you have any group of almost religious zealots, you're gonna get something like that.
Well,
That's a
and
nice
I mean, you
word.
also have to consider. Yeah, zealots is a great word. You also have to consider where they're polling from. It sounds like because inner city, ghettos, basically.
Yeah, and this is the kind
Midwest
of people.
too.
Mhm.
Yeah, like Midwest ghettos.
Yeah, these are the kind of people that they wanted, and not all of them are trash. And I don't even think most of them are trash. Actually,
It's just those few give them such a bad.
well, it's also the people who look upon these people
Super
as
judgmental.
inner city ghetto trash, and yeah, they may not act like civilized human beings from time to time. They might not have great manners, but I've met a lot of these people. I was a roadie for about a year.
one right now.
Yeah. I met a lot of these people. I grew up in a neighborhood. I grew up in a trailer park. It was pretty rough, and I met a lot of really cool people who were juggalos throughout my entire life. And the one thing I've noticed with juggalos is that they have better Christian values than Christians. Like, they do help out
Dude,
their
everyone
fellow
has
man.
better Christian values than Christians.
Yeah, but no, it just it feels like they got the right idea. They don't worship ICP. They don't worship Twisted. They're like, yeah, these guys showed us.
So the video you showed me of one of the gatherings is most of them didn't even go there to see the music.
No, they were there for the people.
Yeah.
They were there just to be around other juggalos. They were there to interact with human beings who had similar values. And here's the thing. Did you see in any of those videos a fight or violence or people being mean to each other?
No, because they can cut that out.
No,
Yeah,
they were
they-
all drunk.
Yeah, they were all
yeah,
drunk.
that helps.
Well, also, I've been around juggalos. You're right. They can't
Nice
cut that
folk.
out. Yeah, they are nice folk. They're comparable to swamp people.
They might scare the shit out of you, but if you need help,
Yeah, no, definitely. I've actually had a moment where when I was working as a roadie, I was carrying way too many speakers, and they were falling in my hands, and that's like $2,000 of equipment. And I had 2 juggalos with huge tattoos on their legs and back and arms, and they were wearing face paint. Just come up and be like, "I got you, fam," and we just hit it off. They just do shit like that, and I was surrounded by people. It could have been anyone else could have done that, but no, it was 2 juggalos. I don't know. I've always had a respect for those people anyway.
it was at that moment you knew.
Oh no, I already
Good
knew.
people.
I already knew.
See, I wouldn't know because I didn't know about this group of people until you mentioned it earlier this week.
Yeah, and I just think they're really cool. They get a lot of bad shit, because they follow quote unquote the most hated band in the world. I don't even think ICP's that hated.
It's Nickelback.
Fuck.
I almost killed myself trying to get a Nickelback song off of Pandora when I was driving.
So here, I think I can give a little bit of insight to why the Juggalettes get so much hate. Did you guys ever watch Attack of the Show?
Yeah.
They routinely made fun of Juggalos on that show.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, okay.
Like,
so
really, really hard.
That's because it's easy to make fun of them.
it is because there are a lot of them out there who are good people, but then
He even brought up Juggalos on It's Always Sunny.
yeah. But there are juggalos out there. I'm not going to defend every single one of them. There are juggalos out there who are just fucking they're retarded. They're just retarded. They're it's not that they're bad people, it's that they've got the enthusiasm but they don't have the tact. And so they just
Social cues.
Yeah. And some of them are just rude pieces of shit. But, like, you're always going to get that. Especially
That's any
in
live music.
Yeah, especially in such a large, like, because Juggalos aren't just fucking fans. Like, they're
Hardcore
almost
fans.
Yeah, they're devotees. They would do a lot for ICP and Twisted and Boondocks and Anybody Killer and Blazy Dead Homie and Rock and shit like that. Like, I don't know. I really appreciate these people, and I can see where you'd find wrong with them, especially with, you know, the music they listen to and the way they express themselves. Because, like, whoop whoop motherfucker, and then they spray each other down with Faygo.
Bitch, you better touch my ass.
But you better touch my butt. They can be vulgar. They definitely can.
Can.
Oh, they are. But
some of them I think strive to be.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. But I think that if you can just have thick enough skin, like, you can get along with these people. But I'm not trying to shift anyone's worldviews. I'm just trying to explain that, you know, the endorphins that run through your brain when you look at a puppy.
No.
That's what I see when I look at a juggalo.
You know what I see when I look at a puppy? I
Food?
have to feed it. It's
Oh.
gonna shit everywhere and piss everywhere until I teach it not to, and then odds are it's gonna hate me.
Oh, you mean like Tia?
Gia doesn't hate you.
I have a special relationship with my dog.
Yeah, it's because you point at her and say, look at that sausage.
She's perfectly round.
But yeah. So that's just my little splurge, just getting out this thing I like. And God, I can't wait to go to the gathering.
Well, I
Oh.
hope you have fun.
Oh God.
You gotta
die.
come back and talk about it.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. I'm gonna tell you guys.
How long are you gonna be gone?
It's probably like a week, but dude, there's some people who hang out there for literal years at that location.
It's sacred ground.
It is for some people. Like, yo, ICP comes here. Well, I'm done
Sorry,
with
there was an ad.
yeah. I'm done with my silly bullshit.
All right.
So, Dylan, over to you.
So I'm gonna talk about nerd shit.
You gonna talk about aliens?
That's another podcast.
Oh, he just got real serious. The brow furrowed.
No, we're gonna talk about Force of Will, which is a card game I've been going really fucking ham on. Top 8 in Georgia. Turn up.
It's good.
Top 8 in a state where there's not many nerds.
Are you for real?
No.
Georgia has tons.
Zach, you wouldn't know because you live at your chair with your fucking 19 monitors.
It's 5.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't even have to turn around to tell you that. Because I live here. And
Yeah.
so do you.
Oh, yeah. Oof. But go on, Dylan.
So Force of Will is like Magic. If anyone's ever played Magic,
Except
but they,
way better.
Well, okay. So Magic's fun and all. I just got tired of spending $700 to make a deck that will lose.
That and the community for Magic, they're
It
kind of
sucks.
assholes.
It sucks. They fucking suck.
The older people there, if like I were to walk in there with a deck and beat one of them, they would just straight up be pissed.
Yeah, well, because I started playing Magic when I was like 11, going on 12, and I won a tournament.
And I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys know a little secret. Dylan here is super autistic when it comes to card games. He could just look at the cards and go, "This makes a deck," and he, makes good decks.
This does thing.
I'm working on a deck right now that's fucking stupid.
So basically what you're saying is, for those who aren't familiar with, the Magic, the Gathering community, is that they are the Smash of card games.
Absolutely, it is really like that because though Magic's really weird because it costs so much to get into it, but it's not hard to play, so a bunch of people play it.
Yeah.
Like you're the newest to Force of Will. Is Force of Will kind of hard to play?
No, it's not hard to play. I would say that it's not hard to play. It's got a complexity to it that isn't present in Magic the Gathering.
I think it's hard.
fast.
I think it's hard to make a deck that will win.
Well, no.
It's not hard to make a deck.
Yeah.
What I meant as the in reference to the complexity of it, yeah, it is fast. You have to process information. You have to actually sit and think.
You have to anticipate.
You have
so
to know
much more,
every
so
card in
much
your
faster.
deck.
Whenever I was playing Force of Will with you, like, I was looking at this deck that you gave me and understanding parts of it, but it's kind of like a fighting game.
Yeah.
Like, here are your tools. Utilize them. Anticipate. Make the read. And I didn't know how to do that, so of course you trumped me. You just beat the shit out of me.
So I'm making a deck that'll work with an old ass ruler that no one plays as a gimmick, and then it can just sideboard into the Primogenitor and the new Kaguya.
Oh, jeez.
All right, so let's
So
get us
stupid.
give
Okay,
us a rundown of the game.
So basically, the way Force of Will works is that it has almost the same mechanics as Magic, but the creator of it, AG, was like, Magic's dumb because it's all luck based. Because you can get you can make an amazing deck and still lose your tournament because you didn't draw land.
Right.
So-
Which explain that, by the way.
So you need land to play. You need mana to play cards. So there's 5 colors and then like mono colors basically.
Yeah.
So like a card will cost like 1 green and 1 of any other color to play.
Right.
But so in Magic you had lands that you were just shuffled into your deck. In Force of Will they said, okay, let's take the lands and separate it. It's a separate deck.
And you have 10.
Yeah, you have 10. So you can build your deck assuming I can, like 75% of the time, draw a mana every turn and then base your whole deck off of that.
Exactly.
So their ideology when it came to this game was that there's no luck in this game. It's just probabilities.
And then there are fucked up decks. Like, there are a lot of blue decks and white decks in Magic the Gathering
Yeah.
that are based off of, especially green decks, they're based off of just getting land out. So you have like 3 land for your next turn, which gives you a huge advantage.
Green's mana ramp in Magic and
Mhm.
green's mana ramp in Force of Will. Force of
which
Will,
gets broken as all hell. The mana ramp does sometimes.
yeah.
I didn't mean to interrupt you. I was just trying to explain.
No, you're good. So basically, they took Commander Magic, and then they took the idea of having a creature essentially always available to you, and then built from that. So they have the ruler system, which is it has passive abilities and activate abilities, and then you can judgment to turn into a creature, and then that's basically it. So you have your basic archetypes though. I mostly play mana ramp with huge creatures, so greed beatdown is usually what I play. But Force of Will, when you look at it, it's more like it's how Street Fighter is to Guilty Gear, or Guilty Gear is to Street Fighter rather, because it's a fighting game still, but it's fast as shit and all over the place and anime. Listen, I know you guys want to make your pinup models, but you know.
I don't know how to make the flash work.
Oh, this man's over here
gotta
taking
pop it
pictures
up.
of me.
I don't know how to do that.
All right, Dylan. So, who's your favorite? What are they called? Not resonators, but
Ruler?
Yeah, the ruler.
Just fucking Crimson Girl.
Nice. Which one's that?
Just Little Red Riding Hood.
Oh yeah, you told me about that
It's the one that just doubles any buff they get.
That's just goofy.
It's fucking stupid. No, Tree.
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 Tree's your favorite?
No joke. Tree is actually my favorite ruler mechanically.
Okay, explain.
So, the tree is Yggdrasil, which is funny because we talked about Kamen Rider Gun and Yggdrasil. So the
Which is a
way it works is that if you were to die, which I explained to you the new ruling on him, right?
No.
Okay, I'll get to that in a second. So with the tree, it says if you would be dealt damage that will reduce your life to 0, negate that damage and put your life at 100, and then you get to search your deck for these boss-ass monsters and a card that makes it so you can't be targeted by spells or abilities. So basically, you just turtle, and then you just, gain life. All right.
Is that why you were splooging so hard when playing Dark Souls 3? You're like, oh, tree.
No. No. No, they announced new cards today because there's another set coming out in June. And they did the spoilers, and every card in that spoiler gives you life.
Oh.
Give us a breakdown of the art,
It's anime.
which is great.
It's anime.
So it's like Yu-Gi-Oh?
Stop looking at fat anime titties. That girl has a penis. That girl's not even anime.
Why are you making stuff up? Why are you doing this? I'm just looking up Pokemon Go tactics. Pokemon Showdown tactics. Thank you. Jeez. This man.
Okay. What did you ask me, Zach?
I was asking about the art.
Oh, so basically they hire a bunch of Pixiv artists. They have like
Pixiv?
6. Pixiv is the like Japanese image sharing site.
Okay.
They hire a bunch of Pixiv artists and they go make these cards, and then they do, and then now they basically just have like 6 of them on retainer, where they just always make the art for the cards now. But yeah, I'm going to a state tournament May 1st.
Good job.
I hope
Would
I
you
do.
like a cookie?
I hope I do good.
I hope you do good too.
I hope you do okay.
Yeah, because if I win that one, I go to regionals, and then I get to go to Japan.
If
Oh,
you win, I'll
seriously?
get you your
You gonna go
award.
to Japan?
If I win,
They pay for it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
Force pretty cool.
Force of Will pays
You
for
gonna
it.
go see Richard?
Oh,
I actually don't know where it is.
let's not talk about.
I don't see it not being in Tokyo.
Yeah. But here's the thing: you wouldn't see me.
Yeah, he would.
Oh.
But
No.
you'd see
You'd
him.
get to his house and you'd be like, "Sorry, I'm pooping," and he couldn't come to the door to let you in.
Fuck, that got a little too real, Zach. This is not what I wanted. It's not what I wanted at all.
Stop.
Go. We didn't goof off during yours.
Yeah, you did. I'm also sharing with Dylan.
Yeah, I
Better
wasn't.
turn that around.
He already closed it.
Oh, I already closed it. I didn't want that.
All right.
That's what you get for not being on the
I
same
don't know,
side
man.
of the
It's really
table.
hard to talk about Force of Will. You know, when people are just like, I've never played the game before.
Yeah, it's a little difficult.
It's Magic. If you played Magic, you played Force of Will. You played Slow Force.
Ooh.
Yeah, and it's super fast. We're talking like 3 turns dead.
Those are dumb gimmick decks that I make that don't work.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they worked against me.
Yeah, but then you play against my Infinite Alice World deck, and you're just like, God damn it. That shit's legit.
Do you want to go through some of the lore?
I don't know the fucking lore.
I thought you knew the lore.
No, I know the storyline for the Alice cluster. That's about it.
Oh. Well, what else do you want to talk about with Force of Will?
Yeah, I guess I can talk about the story. It's kind of stupid.
Lay it on us.
Okay, so basically, each if you're familiar with card games, you have rotations, which is like the set. So we're in the Alice cluster right now, which is going to be their main story, basically. And then you have Alice, so like Alice in Wonderland. She's like a dimension hopper.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And I've played the game.
That's actually that makes a lot of sense.
Well, that's why there's 7 different Alice cards.
Are there only
Oh,
7? Are there
that's
only
cool.
Are there only 7 dimensions?
No,
No, it's just there's multiple.
every set she gets a new card.
Okay.
There's Alice the Wanderer of Worlds, Alice the Defender of the Realms, Alice the Avatar of the Seven Lands, Alice the Valkyrie of Fairy Tales, Alice the Healer of Fairy Tales, Alice the Fairy Queen, and I guess there's only 6. No, there's another one. A Dark Alice, yeah. I got it.
That's really cool, Dylan.
Don't you patronize me?
No, I'm not patronizing you. I'm actually telling you, like, that's pretty cool that there's different versions of her.
Yeah, and the main story with it is that there's this guy that looks like Kaworu from Evangelion, and he's the primogenitor, and he blew up the Earth, like our Earth,
Oh shit.
and he
Oh.
made it into a weapon.
It's pretty cool.
That's his regalia. In
Is
this
it any
new set.
good?
Yeah,
Is-
dude, the globe is fucking stupid.
Is that the Machina
good to
deck
know.
I have?
no?
Oh, who is that guy then?
What?
The deck I have, my ruler.
Machina?
Yeah.
Machina's the Machine Lord. He has this city in Atrocida, which is the realm that this one's in, and he just makes robots.
Robots.
That's
he put his
awesome.
wife into a big O.
Oof.
Wait, what?
Yeah, that's what Maribel is.
Oh shit. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
And I've used that card a few times. I didn't.
I fucking love Maribel's new card.
Do you have a
They-
stamped one?
No, there's no more stamps. They have full art textured.
Do checkerboard.
So the way Maribel works in this new deck is so it has trample, which means whatever difference is left after combat's resolved, it just bleeds through to the opponent. So it's already a 12/12,
Yeah.
and
so
you can tap it to give it X+Y, where X+Y is another creature's attack and defense. It's fucking stupid.
So basically, you can't nerf it. That's what trample does. Like usually, if you had a little 1/1 creature and he was going to attack with
you
a
have
big,
Cheshire Cat, and Cheshire Cat does cat things.
I know, but if he was going to attack with a big creature and I had a little creature, I could just throw the little creature in front of the big creature, and usually,
It would just resolve.
yeah, it just resolve no problem. But since it has trample, just plows right through it and onto my life force points.
I attacked with the 10,000 Maribel one time.
Jesus
Why-
Christ.
Why would you do that? That's just mean. That's straight up just mean. There's no.
Okay, so the deck I ran at the last tournament that I went to was using Crimson Girl. So any buffs that she gets, or any buffs that your creatures get, are instantly doubled. So then there's another card named Priscilla, the Beast Queen in Hiding, and she says any buffs that she gets are doubled. So her double, it gets quadrupled. So you can just give her something that's like Ami no Habakiri, which gives her 4/4. That becomes 16/16, and she's a 7/7, and then you can give that to Maribel. Then you play another Maribel, and then give that to a Maribel. So the Maribel gets the buff doubled, and
God,
then
we
when
got
you give it to
Inception
another
over
one,
here.
it's doubled.
All right.
Force of Will is just a never-ending power scaling. And then there's also a dumb deck that everyone plays, and I'm tired of seeing it, and I feel bad that I even have it. It's the Infinite Alice World. Basically, there's an infinite turn loop. I hate people who play this deck so much, because there's this guy who like wins all the tournaments around here. He's such a fucking asshole. He's like, yeah, there's a lot of really subtle things, you know, when you're playing Alice World. Like, I really enjoy playing it. It's really difficult to play. And I was like, I built it in an afternoon and then won a tournament. You're full of yourself.
Are you gonna wipe the floor with him?
Oh no, I'm gonna beat him with my dumb rush deck
That's like saying Vanilla Sagat.
because I do.
Vanilla Sagat in Street Fighter 4 is a really subtle character who's very technical.
Tiger Fist, Tiger Fist, Tiger Fist.
No, it's Tiger Shot, Tiger Shot, Tiger Shot, Tiger Knee. Oh, okay. Heavy kick.
So-
Oh, okay.
Do you guys know what day it is?
It's Wednesday, my dudes. It's also 420.
This.
Dude, weed.
Yeah.
It's also Hitler's birthday.
We're just covering it all today.
Yeah. This podcast has no structure.
Okay. So Hitler was actually, interacted with the Nordics, the aliens from
All right,
Zeta
stop, because
Reticuli.
I haven't had my time to talk about what. I
Yeah,
was gonna
it's
talk about.
Zach's time. Oh, speaking of Zach's time, can you do me a favor and mute me? I gotta go pee.
Jesus.
I'm kidding.
All right, you can go.
Help! I was joking. Help! Help! I was kidding. No, please. Okay.
All right.
Here we go.
Okay. So, Goat talked about something that was important to him, which is ICP, and Dylan followed it up with some Force of Will. Man, if anybody doesn't know what Force of Will is, that's just going to be a really interesting 10 minutes to listen to.
Hey, he might turn some people onto it.
Hopefully, he
Dude, I
does.
can just teach everyone how to play Force Will right now.
That's right. Anyway, so what I'm going to talk about is
Oh, jeez.
so I used to
okay, Dylan.
trade on Craigslist, and what it started out as was we had a tree fall on my house when I was in middle school, and with the insurance money, I got an airsoft gun. And then a few years later, I'm like, I don't use this thing, so I'm gonna trade it, right? So I traded the airsoft gun for a metal detector. And that took a few months. And then I get the metal detector, I use it, I pulled some cool stuff out of my backyard. I found a knife that I still use. Really cool. But there's
We used it to cut up chicken to fry.
Yeah, we did. We did that the other day and used it to scrape the batter off the tongs.
The bits.
And then you know how we clean the knife? We just dipped it in the fryer.
Hey, so Zach, since Dylan and I got our own little special background music, what's yours?
I was actually fixing to change it.
Cool. Just wanted to remind you so you didn't
Because
feel
we're
left
done
out.
listening to Alien Vaporwave.
Boom.
And ICP.
I just
God.
put on the default. I mean,
boring.
I already had it loaded because I
Alright.
don't want to deal with ads. I'm gonna be straight up because I don't have ad block on this computer yet, which is my fault entirely.
That's okay, Zach.
Anyway, so after I got this metal detector, I threw that up on Craigslist, and I had one guy that offered me an air hockey table for it. I was not allowed to get the air hockey table because apparently I would just put a bunch of shit on top of it and it would never get used, which is totally evident because you could just the two people in this room could just look around and go, yeah, it would just have shit set on it. Then I finally found a guy to trade it, and it was for my first Xbox. So I go to meet the guy, and we're meeting at his tattoo parlor. So I get to his tattoo parlor, and the dude's not there yet. So I walk in to his tattoo parlor, and there's a one-eyed tattoo artist sitting there. And I'm just like, oh, great. At first I thought that was the guy, and then I talked to him, and he's the manager. He was assistant manager for the shop, or manager, because the guy I was talking to is the owner. And I have a really cool conversation with this guy, and we start talking about just stuff that we like and don't like. And he starts talking about how he likes to go to movies, but this was this was about three years ago when 3D movies were the shit. And he would talk about he'd go into a theater and ask if he could pay half price because having one eye, he can't see 3D.
Well, you should pay the normal ticket price.
He should pay the normal ticket price, not the 3D price, because around here was an extra $5 or something
It's
for
like
the glasses.
$3.
$3. Yeah, he would get upset with that. And then, being a tattoo artist and kind of gnarly dude, he liked to go to haunted houses because he's super edgy. And I was talking to him about that, and apparently, whenever he's in a group, they like to put him in the front. and he has one eye, so he doesn't have any depth perception, and he would just keep walking into shit. So that was pretty good. Anyway, and the guy, so after I talked to him for about an hour, the guy that has the Xbox shows up, and he shows up on a big-ass Harley, and I go, there's no way he has the Xbox with him, right? So he walks up to me, big dude with a beard. I'm about 5'10". He had about 4 inches on me. And he's like, sorry, dude, I don't have the Xbox on me. Follow me back to my house. So I'm like, okay.
Zach's about to get murdered.
So I'm like, okay. I follow him for about... Still cut. Oh. All right. There you go. So I follow him for about 40 minutes up into the middle of nowhere in Red Top Mountain in Georgia, which is... We went through a state park. It was a very bad idea. Anyway, so I get to his house, and I'm sitting there. I'm going, I'm going to die. Walk into his house. I meet his wife, his kids, and his granddad. And it turns out the dude's going to a local college around here to be a nursing major. And I'm just like, oh, shit. I judged this guy super wrong.
I bet you that guy's going to be like the best nurse.
Yeah. Oh,
Because every time I've been to the hospital...
The dude nurses are the best.
Yeah.
Because when I was in the hospital for my heart thing, it was the guy nurse that came in and talked to me about computers and anime to keep me calm, so I wasn't, just sit there and freak out.
Was it this guy?
No.
Oh, okay.
See, you're saying is it this guy, but we're on a podcast, they can't see that. Anyway, so I get my Xbox, and the dude's super cool. I'm trading, the original thing I put up was like $40. Got my airsoft gun, traded that for metal detector. And I'm trading the metal detector for an Xbox. I'm getting like 2 controllers, like 8 games, and like 6 months live. So I'm like, sweet, this is awesome. It turns out he wants the metal detector because they're right behind where Civil War stuff happened. So he wanted to go look for Civil War stuff. So that was sort of the beginning of when I started to go on Craigslist. But you should never follow people back to their house.
Kind of like that time you went up to Milton by yourself.
Kind of like the time I went up to Milton by myself. And the time I went to downtown Atlanta by myself. But I fancy myself a good judge of character. So, I don't think I'm going to die anytime soon. But if there's anything that's shady, here's what you want to do on Craigslist. You want to tell the guy you want to go. When they go, where do you want to meet? You find the nearest police precinct in between you. And you send them that address. And if they just don't contact you anymore, you know you're about to get murdered. Because I've done that with a few people. I sold a few oil paintings. That was cool. That guy was an Iranian dude. Super chill. He gave me an extra $10 because he really liked one of them. Yeah. He worked for a realtor, and they were just buying stuff to hang up in houses.
That's pretty cool.
I know.
Yeah, see, Zach, as much as you enjoy Craigslist and meeting those people, I'm super paranoid about that kind of thing.
You have to be paranoid.
Yeah, but I'm so paranoid to the point where I'm like, as soon as I get into contact with them, they know where I live. Like, I'm unreasonably paranoid about that.
Why do you have a Facebook?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Well, because I can just run.
Then why do you care? You don't even have a house right now, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, like where are they gonna track me down to?
The other thing I got off Craigslist is I got all my monitors off Craigslist, and my monitor mounts were pretty cheap. That was an interesting story. I ended up meeting the guy in downtown Atlanta, and here's why I knew I wasn't going to get murdered. It was a really nice part of Midtown.
I just remembered something.
Right across the street from a fire station, and there's a police precinct.
Go ahead, Dylan. Interrupt Zach.
Zach got me into Force of Will.
I did.
Yeah.
And I don't really play it anymore because the problem is I love playing card games, but if I sit down, I have about like 5-6 games in me, whereas Dylan can just sit here and just play, but I can't do that.
Play by myself.
Yeah, I can't do that.
I need friends who play Force.
If you want some,
I'm working on it.
Here's another thing: if you want some tips finding stuff off Craigslist, tools and stuff, go to the search bar and just type in divorce. That's how there's the little shed in the back. That's how we got those tools. That's how I found them for Trey.
That's a little too real.
Because we got a grinder. One of the dual-sided grinders, bench grinder. $20 because the wife didn't know what it was.
You want to know what else you could type in to get the same thing? Widows.
That's probably pretty good.
Estate sale.
But yeah.
Oh.
There's that too.
That's what happened with my dad.
But one thing is, if you're on Craigslist enough, you can just read an ad and you know it's fake.
Yeah, no.
See, that's the level where I'm at. So if anybody's like when Keaton, one of our friends wanted to find a 3DS for his sister or whoever it was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
his
asked,
older sister.
He asked me to find it off Craigslist because he sent me one, and I'm like, dude, that's a scam. And he's like, well, how do you know? I'm like, just read it.
It said no. It said
It's-
not a scam. It's a scam, Keaton.
Yeah, you know, if there's too many spelling mistakes, or they just straight up include their email, like, because the way Craigslist works is you go through like a little encrypted type email thing through Craigslist. If they just straight up have their email on there, it's a scam. They're gonna murder you. Don't do it.
You know
Or
what's
they
not?
just reset the odometer.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
know-
and never bring someone back to your house.
Ooh.
Like I've
Yeah.
gone to people's houses and I'm just like, I wouldn't do that. And the only reason I did the one in Atlanta was because he had the two Asus monitors, and I'm like, you can't test them if you're not in someone's house.
Right.
That and the dude was a Georgia Tech student,
I can understand that.
so. But yeah, that's some few of my little exploits on Craigslist. It's a good way to find cheap stuff. Just be careful and try not to get murdered out there.
Hey, you know what's not a scam, but it's commonly misinterpreted as one?
I think eBay sometimes.
No. I was actually referencing when people try to trim armor on RuneScape. Like, you would think that's a scam, but that's actually a really good deal.
I used to do it because it upgrades it gives you tons of fucking smithing experience.
I never trimmed armor. Can you believe that?
Why are you laughing, Goat?
Because it's always a scam. Just like the people that go, if you give me 1 gold, I'll double it and give you 2. And then when you give them like
I'm
30
sorry,
gold,
I was a middle school child that had just wanted to level up smithing so I can make my own rune armor.
Yeah. What's wrong with you?
Dude, I remember doing that to one kid, and he actually pleaded back. I was like, gotcha! And I felt so bad, I gave it back.
Did you trim it though?
No,
No.
like the kids would run up to me and I'd be like trimming armor, like literally for free. And then I got someone, and then he gave me his armor. I went and trimmed it, and then came back and gave it to him because I'm not a piece of shit.
Oh.
He was probably really surprised. He's like, I was expecting to lose that.
Yeah,
That's
it
why
was, I
gave
mean,
that.
it was just black armor, so I mean, like it wasn't anything.
That's still pretty good armor. I never
Yeah.
paid for it, so I couldn't go higher than if you didn't pay for it, what was the highest you could go to?
Oh no, you can get it all.
No, he meant the highest armor. Like, if you didn't pay for membership, the highest you could wear was rune.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. Not the
Yeah.
dragon bullshit. All right, so what are we talking about next week?
You know what? I think we just make this shit up as we go.
No, I thought we were gonna watch Princess Jellyfish with Zach.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
we
yeah.
should
How-
watch.
how
Princess
long is
Jellyfish.
that?
It's 2025.
Do either of you have it?
I
'Cause I
can
don't wanna
find.
download it.
It's on Netflix. It's on Netflix.
It is on Netflix.
Ooh. All right, well, I guess then tomorrow, or not tomorrow.
Well, you
this the next
know, we're switching to
podcast-
weekly.
Yeah, we are switching to weekly. That's all on the SoundCloud, and we're also going to be putting all this stuff up on YouTube. So when we run out of space on SoundCloud,
So
you
we're
can
going to
go
be
there.
on SoundCloud, archive.org, shutinNerd.org, and YouTube.
Yeah, the reason shutinNerd.org hasn't happened is because the guy running it is doing he has a really heavy course load right now. So hopefully closer to summer, we'll have all that done. We'll have our own little section of a website.
When's he coming on? By the way,
What?
when's he coming on the podcast?
Whenever we have a fourth microphone.
Yeah,
Dylan.
and plus we got to watch Dead Man Wonderland.
Yeah, because he
That's
wants.
what he wants to
rant
talk
about it.
I've seen Dead Man. I'll
Okay,
rewatch it.
okay, so I'm the only one who hasn't finished it.
I
Oh,
don't think I can watch it again, guys.
that's fine.
We're not going to watch it in English.
Thank you. You're a kind soul, Dylan.
Oh, the English was okay. It wasn't great.
All I've heard from this man is that it's bad.
Which man?
That's me. No. So I don't dislike it. I just cannot stand the main character's voice actor.
It's not great.
I thought the story was pretty cool, because, prison and whatnot.
I don't remember who the actor is, but like, I don't know. He's got a similar.
Prison speaks to me.
It may be Vic Mignogna, but like, if it's not, it's that same kind of voice. Not the same voice, but it's just that annoying anime guy. I fucking hate it.
He's just he's the Evangelion. It's
Shinji?
whiny like that. Yeah.
Nah, he's not-
It's not the same voice actor.
But see,
All right, well, we need to.
You're right.
So next week, next episode, we're
Next
talking about
week.
Princess Jellyfish. So yeah, next week, Princess Jellyfish.
Sounds good.
It's going to get real fucking cute in here.
All right,
Oh.
I'm Zach.
I'm Dylan.
And I'm Goat, and we're all gonna be cross-dressing for next episode.